Hi wig wearers, and welcome back to my channel. You may have seen the title of this video, which is Help, Wigs Are Ruining My Life. Are they ruining my life? Well, I might have been being a little bit over dramatic, but they definitely need a good clear out because I have so many that they are taking over my spare room. You can see some here. There's 2 or 3 tubs down here, and there's about 6 over there, and so for that reason it's time to do the clear out again. And so I wanted to go through it with you guys because I know you enjoy seeing the wigs, and so you can see what I'm clearing out and why I'm clearing out, and also what I've been obsessed with buying and why I've been obsessed with buying it. So without that, I also want to label them correctly because at the moment I've got them in bags like this, but there's nothing to say what this wig is. It does say it's Empress Wigs on there, but it's not very well labelled. Speaking of Empress Wigs, this is an Empress wig. It is a lace front and it is personally one of my favourite wigs. I love a good ginger, as I've said time and time again, and this is probably one of the favourites that I've got. The style is what I would call classic Hollywood waves. You can see that it's got those soft gentle waves in, which is what gives it its name. It's a nice length, got really nice lace at the front and sits really well on the head, and so this is definitely one that I would keep. Even though I've got many that I know I should be getting rid of, I just can't seem to want to part with this one, mainly because I like to wear it, and I think as well it's just kind of got that classic style that it doesn't matter as the seasons change and as the fashions change, this will always stay in fashion. I don't know if I've ever shown you how I store my wigs before, but I'm going to show you now. As I shown you a second ago, I store them in freezer bags and I keep them as flat as I can and keep them sort of in as much of the style as I can to prevent them getting damaged. But because these bags are airtight, they stop any damage getting to the wigs. And I've got little label prints that I bought from Temu that I print the name of the wig on and also what the style is. This is just for organisation purposes because now I've got so many, there needs to be a bit more organisation to them. So it's nice and simple, and the good thing is that when you do it with the pen, which I've found in the past, the pen rubs off and that way you can't tell what the wig is, whereas that labels it nice and clear. And also if you're selling them, it's nice and easy to find them. Another ginger one, so you know that it's not going to go anywhere. I do like this wig. I kind of like the hairline on this one because although I've not put it on to show its full potential, it does have a bit of a free part so that you can sort of side part it or middle part it. There's quite a few things you can do with it. I do think that the texture on it looks a little bit greasy, but I think that's just the silicones that came on the wig when I first got it, and so I will probably just give that a little bit of a wash just to get rid of that. It is one that I'm going to keep for now. Whether I decide to keep it long term, I don't know, but I like the length of it because it's kind of like shoulder length. It's a little bit shorter than some of the other ginger ones I've got, and so for that reason currently I'm keeping it. This one I wasn't actually sure where I got it from, but if I'm looking at the lace, I'd say it might be a Shine wig. I know it's pronounced Chien, but I've always called it Shine, so that's what I'm calling it. Because you can usually tell because the lace is kind of like tinted and it's almost like a almondy colour as opposed to clear lace on some of them, and that's what makes me think that that's probably where it's from. I might be wrong, but it does have a really nice hairline, so it could also be a sapphire wig, so I'm not completely sure, but it's sort of giving me Megan vibes from the horror film Horror Stroke, I don't know what you call it, point horror. It's not real horror, it's kind of comedy horror. But yeah, this is not one that I would part with because I really like this one. Again, length is good on it, it doesn't tangle, it's very easy to wear. Cap size is good, just throw it on. Could actually easily colour that lace in and blend it in with foundation if you wanted to, although I don't think it's really that noticeable, even though it's got that slightly darker tone to it. I think perhaps that matches my skin colour better because it literally looks like it blends into the head, which is quite nice. I never really do very well at the getting rid of wigs because I try them all on and then decide actually I don't really want to get rid of any of them. The problem is because I only buy ones I really like, I kind of don't want to part with them. This is a slightly darker colour. It reminds me quite a lot of the blonde one that I just put on, only it's in like a brownie shade instead. Again, it's got that sort of slight wave to it. Now I know this one was from Chien because it had these bits here which is supposed to be like baby hairs. Personally, I think I'm going to cut them off because they just get on my nerves, but the idea is that it was supposed to mimic little natural hairs, although I suppose I could glue them down. But very similar wig. Lace on this is probably a bit whiter, so it's a bit more visible, but if you sit it right on your forehead you can't see it as much either. I do have quite a few brown wigs now. It's kind of like a light brown as opposed to a dark brown, almost like a barky colour, you know, like a tree bark, I think, but it blends quite well with my own natural hair colour as well, and so if bits stick out it doesn't look so noticeable. This one is by Lush Wigs. They don't really do lace fronts as such anymore, but they did used to, and it's got dark roots and it's long and blonde. It's a very yellow toned wig, and usually I don't really go for yellow wigs at all unless it's a bright yellow rather than a yellow blonde. The reason I kept this one is because it's quite good for Tiffany from Child's Play, because this is kind of like how Tiffany's hair is, except hers is probably slightly more bleached, but it's that kind of style. It's one of the few that is yellow that I quite like. I do have to wear certain types of makeup when I wear it though, just to offset the yellow with me being so pale. But if I'm wearing sort of bronzer and things like that, it does actually blend quite well. But it's got a really good hairline on it, and that's why I really like this one. And so I won't be parting with this one. So what's that, 4 out of 4 to keep? I'm not doing very well on the clearing out, and you can see now why this just does not go well. This one here is from Kesh Wigs. If you've never seen any of the Kesh Wigs, please go and check her out. She is sort of a small seller, so she's a very independent seller, but she does really nice quality wigs, does lots of fun videos and give lots of nice advice as well. This was one called Rogue that I got. It does have the Kesh Wigs logo inside. The wigs always come with the combs in as well, which helps because when you're wearing them, it keeps them pinned down. I really like the blonde that pokes out on this one. Kind of gives it a, hence the Rogue name, just gives it that kind of little extra edge. I've got a couple of wigs like this. I've got one this shade and one a little bit lighter, but I think I might sell the lighter one because I prefer this one. So that's at least one a little bit further down the line that I know I'll be getting rid of. This one was either a Timu or a Shine wig. I don't know which it was. I can't tell. One or the other. The reason I can tell is because the bag it comes in is one of these little Chinesey bags. I quite like the waves on this one. It's really pretty, and you can see through it as well that there's lighter pieces of blonde as well, so it's got a really nice balayage effect to it. The thing that I most love about wearing wigs is being able to change the style and wear colours that would take me ages to do myself. So for example, for me to get my hair this shade, like a balayage like this, it will take absolutely months and lots of money to get it to do this. And now it's there. So that's what I love about wigs, it's the flexibility. And that's why, even though yes I do have my own hair, it's so much easier to put on a wig, and then if I change my mind I can take it off again. And the other good thing about it is that it doesn't damage my hair, whereas extensions and things like that can be quite damaging if you have your own hair. But how easy is that just to throw on, and then there it is. So it's really, really nice. This is my switch up style wig. I've got maybe 2 or 3 of these, and I don't think I'd part with any of them because they're really nice high quality wigs. This again is a blonde, which I don't do naturally, so it's quite nice to have it. I've only been blonde a few times and it's never really quite been the shade that I wanted, whereas this is more like it. It's a very light blonde, so it's quite natural, and it's got very dark roots to it. Again, a lace front. I took this one on holiday with me the first year I went with my friends, maybe about 4 years ago, and I got so many compliments from people saying how nice my hair was. Totally unaware that it was a wig. A couple of them I did fess up to and say, oh, it's actually a wig, and shown them, and they were so shocked. They were like, how can that be a wig? I can see like little hairs and things. But yep, gotta be said that this is a keeper again. This is a ginger rooted bob that I've got. This is by Ultra Hair. It's one of the first ones I got that had a security band in it. And this one is actually sewn into it, unlike the ones now that you can take out. But because it's so stretchy, it is incredibly comfortable to wear. The wig itself is lovely as well. Now, it does have a sort of side part originally, but it makes it shorter down one side than the other, which I didn't really like. And so I cut it so that it was level, and then put the part in the middle so that it comes down and it's level on both sides, just because I think that suits the style better. I don't mind graduated bobs. I think they look really nice, but I don't like the off-pieced ones, the ones that are at a slight angle. I don't think that they suit the shape of my face. Although they're very Victoria Beckham, it's just not something that suits me. This is one that I've toyed with getting rid of. Still not 100% sure whether I'm going to keep it or not, but it is nice sometimes for the summer to have that shorter style. I don't know if you can see, but it's quite short at the back, so it's quite nice to just throw on and go. This one was it's got a ZE in it. I don't know whether it's a ZL wig, it might be. If not, it's something very similar. It does come with a thicker banding, which means it's probably a better quality wig. It's pretty much straight blonde. It is a free part, which is quite nice, but I'm not convinced that I'm keen on the shade. So it might have to go, this one. It has got a few mixes through it, and I've got far nicer blonde wigs, and so I think we found our first one to get rid of. This one is just called Dark Brown Caramel Low Light. Looking at the lace, I'd say it's either a shine wig or a Timu wig. I actually really like this one as well. I know I say that about most of them. And it's nice to have a darker one with those caramelly bits in. It does probably need a bit of a straighten if you wanted to wear it. But it's one of the few ones that I saw on there that had the dark shade with the lighter bits through. A lot of them are all lighter, and you can see there that it's kind of like a drag route. So it's dragged into there, but it's not all the way to the top, which I quite like. I think it's a bit unique. And so yet again, it goes on the stay pile. This is another random one that I found. What's interesting, this one is, it's kind of very dark brown and wavy. It looks like I may have originally got it off somebody else because the strap's broken on it. And I tend to try and be quite careful with mine. I do remember this one now. I used it for Bellatrix from Harry Potter and put white down it so that it sort of had her vibe to it. I can't remember if it was originally a shake and go wig. The only thing I'm not keen on about this wig is the hairline. I think that the knots are way too dark, and I've toyed with bleaching them, but I'm not sure if maybe it's time for this one to go. So what I'm going to do is pop it to one side for now. It keeps going on the go pile, but then I keep rescuing it, so there must be on some level a subconscious need to want to keep it. But do I just keep it for cosplay, or do I just bite the bullet and get rid of it? I know what I should do, but it's one of those things where I always think, if I want to do a cosplay and I get rid of it, I'm going to need it. But then that's how hoarding happens, so I really need to stop doing that. This one I do know where it was from. This is a Charisma wig. They're most known for selling through Amazon. It's a lace front. It has got darker roots, and it goes into like it's a very strange shade of brown. It's almost like a blondie brown, like a blonde, I think would probably be the word. Blonde, sort of like a bronzy brown. Blonde, I think that's what you'd call it. This is an older wig, so it is quite shiny, as some of the earlier ones were, but I love the style, and it's not one that I'd part with. I think it's this wave pattern that I've got a thing for. I really like the sort of beachy waves or Hollywood waves look. I think maybe it just suits the shape of my face, and so I'd definitely be keeping that one. But that was never under question because I've had this one quite some time, and it's not one that I want to part with. This is one that I got from Kesh. Again, this is called Ooh La La. I got this as part of a prize because I won the Halloween competition for the makeup, and I got a choice to pick a couple of wigs, and this was one of the ones that I picked. But I really love it. It is a lace front. It's a lighter blonde, which I'm quite happy about. That's not a baby, that is the cat. Say hi, Stitch, to the audience. Hi. He's a little internet star. But you can see why I like this one. And again, it's one of the ones that I wouldn't get rid of. Not just because it means something because I won it as a prize, but also because I like the style of the wig. It's just a nice easy throw on one. I had a couple like this, but I did get rid of them. I think they were hair cube ones. They looked very similar, but they weren't lace front. So when I upgraded to a lace front, I did get rid of the other two. This one is from Castaway Beauty, which I believe is now closed. It's a really nice wig. It's really thick. And this one I think is called Blonde Smoke. So although it is blonde, it's kind of got that grey tone to it, and it is a lace front. Those of you who have seen my wig videos before might have seen this one before. I'm not usually a fan of longer hair. I tend to keep them round about shoulder length, but this isn't far past sort of the boob length, which I quite like. And it's a really unusual colour because it does have that sort of grey tone to it, but you can also tell that it's a blonde. So in different lights it looks different colours. The thing I like about these wigs is they don't tangle either. And so you can just pop them on and not have to worry about whether it's going to look naff throughout the night. The one thing I would probably change on it is the lace. It's not the best lace, but I do think that if I cut that lace a little bit closer there, it'd be less noticeable. And so for the time being, this is also on the stay pile. This is one of the few that I've kept with a fringe. This is a shake and go wig, so it's not a lace front. It starts off with really dark blacky roots and then goes into these highlights here, which are sort of like an auburn shade. The fringe gives me sort of Claudia Winkleman vibes because it's like that really thick, choppy fringe. I have sort of chopped into it a little bit, so it's not quite as full on straight. Although, to be honest, if I wanted to straighten it up some more, there is quite a lot there, so I could probably just straighten that a little bit more. But the style I really like, and it's nice to have a fringe occasionally. I'm not a massive fan of fringes, but I don't mind the odd one. But I do think that that needs perhaps levelling out a little bit. But it was when I first started cutting fringes, and I thought I was good at cutting them, and I clearly was not. I labelled this one Shine Lace Front My Hair. Reason being, it's probably about as close to my natural hair colour as any of my wigs. I don't see my natural hair colour that often. I've not seen it since I was about 16, I don't think, because I've dyed it that frequently. But whenever it pops up, when it's not grey, this is the sort of shade, not the root shade, but this sort of mousy brown that is actually quite close to my own hair colour. And I like this one because it's just straight. It has got those silly little baby hairs, but again, you can always pin those back and cut them off, hide them, whatever you want to do with it. I haven't really faffed with them that much because I just tend to grip them back. But the wig itself I really like. Lace isn't too bad on it. It is quite dark, but then the roots are quite dark, so it blends with it quite well. I think if you've got darker roots, then you can get away with it. And again, my hair colour underneath that is actually very dark at the moment, and so it blends quite well with it. But it is a nice wig. I like the fact that it's quite straight because my own hair, unless I kill it to death with the straighteners, does not go this straight. And so it's quite nice to have one that is sort of more of a poker straight texture to it. This one was from the Blonde Unicorn store, which is another Amazon seller. This is a really nice wig. Now it's only got a little bit of lace on this part here, so it's not a full lace front. It's a really pretty wig. But I think I will probably get rid of this one, mainly because I have got a lot of lace fronts that are similar, and so I don't really feel the need to keep this one as well. This one is by a brand called Hort Wigs. They are known for being quite expensive wigs. This is a blend of human hair and also synthetic, so it feels a bit more like human hair and acts a bit more like human hair, but it keeps the style like a synthetic would. It is a lace front. It's a really nice high quality one. It's sort of like a, I suppose, a rose gold. It's like a peachy colour. It is again an angled bob, but I always wear it as a side part so that it's level, because as I've mentioned before, I don't like having a half slid bob. But if I did put the part in where it should go, you can see that it's just slightly longer on one side than the other. That was the style, that's how it came. But I wasn't a fan of that, so I always just off centre it a little bit. And that's another tip for you. If you don't like the parting on your wig, you can actually turn it into a side part just by sliding it along. But I do like the wig itself. It's a bit of an unusual colour. I'd say it's a cross between sort of a rose gold and a flamingo type pink. There's a slight pink hint to it, but it's definitely got gold in there as well. One of the few shorter ones. This is one of my absolute faves. This is called yaki hair, so it's slightly different to the texture of normal hair. It is still synthetic, but it's kind of like, I don't know if you can tell looking at it, but you can see it's like a crimped texture instead. This one I put tape on the inside because the lace was incredibly tough on it. The tape I used was scar tape, and when you put scar tape in there, it makes it really soft and easy to wear, which is good. It's like a very, very long bob, and I do like the simplicity of it. It does make me look very sort of pale and gothy when I've not got any makeup on, but when I wear it, I do usually wear it with makeup. This next one I've got to decide whether to keep or not is a really dark rooted, sort of drag rooted into blonde wavy wig. It has got a bit of a fringe top as well, but the interesting thing about this is it is actually also a lace front, which you don't see very often. So it's a bit of an unusual one. I don't unfortunately have the make of it because it doesn't have a make in it. But you could have it as a full fringe if you wanted, but I prefer to side part it because I just think it suits the wig better. But this is another one that I'm not really sure what to do with. I do like it, I think it's a lovely wig, but if I come across anything that's similar, I probably would choose to get rid of it. The part's a bit strange on it as well, like just here there's almost like a missing bit, but I think that's supposed to be like giving it a zigzag part. So this is another one that I'm not really sure of either way. The fibres are quite nice, and I think it does look quite natural as well. So I'm not going to completely get rid of it yet. I'm just going to put it on the maybe pile. I do know where this next one comes from. This is a Christmas wig. You can usually find them on Amazon. I think I got this one in a swap with someone. It is a full lace cap, and the length's quite nice on it as well. I don't think it really suits me, to be honest. And so I'm going to put this on the pile to get rid of, because although it is pretty, I've got one similar that I got from Lulabelle's, and the Lulabelle's one I actually like better. So the only thing I do like about this is the waves are slightly more relaxed, but I think I can probably relax the ones in the Lulabelle's as well. So I am going to put that one on the sell pile. This one I've had for absolutely ages. It was one of the first ones that I got. I got it from a cosplay group when I wanted one for Sabrina, as in the New Adventures of Sabrina that's been on Netflix. It is a lace front. It's a very white blonde. Could also be used for Marilyn Monroe. The curls on it aren't great because it's been sat in the back, but when I wear it I do recurl it and it looks really nice. And because I've used it in quite a lot of costumes, there'll probably be a call for me to wear it again. So although it doesn't look great at the moment, because it is for a costume, I will keep that one. This next one is a hair cube one. I think I got this off my friend, and it's one of the first times I realised that they actually did lace front wigs. It's got quite a lot of lace that goes all the way around on this one. I think when I originally got this wig it wasn't as straight as it is now, but I did straighten it quite a bit. It is a nice wig, but do I need another dark rooted blonde wig is the question. I've got one similar that's a bit longer that I really like, and so this is for now is going on the maybe pile to decide whether I want to keep it or not. This one I know I'll keep because this is one of my Carl Bembridge wigs. They're usually quite expensive to get. I was really lucky I got this one cheap. This one is called Trapé. They do come with the larger bands in the back, but I've taken mine out. You can tell straight away when you put them on the difference in the quality from these ones to some of the cheaper brands. That's not to say that the cheaper brands aren't nice, but there's just a thickness that comes with these that sort of shows slight better quality. The waves I think probably need slightly readjusting in this one because I've had it a while and it probably needs a bit of a condition. But with it being synthetic, if I wash it they should spring back. The only thing I'm not sure of though is the colour. I don't know whether the colour suits me, but I'm keeping it for now and see if I change my mind at a later date. Now this is one of my Keshley headshot wigs, or Kesh wigs as I call them. Keshley, as I said before, is lovely, and the wigs that she sells are really lovely quality. This one is called Bailey, and I really like this one. I think it's a great style. I like that the layers are shorter, so they're all different lengths, and it just gives it a really nice sort of face framing effect. And it's really nice to have that sort of pop of blonde at the front. Obviously when I've got makeup on it looks a lot better, but I'm not in a makeup mood today, so you're gonna have to see the bare face. But yeah, that's one of the keeping wigs. I've just got another quick shout out to Kesh as well. Whenever I've bought one of her wigs, I've never had one that's gone all tangly, so the quality of the fibres that you used is always really good. This one was a lace front one. I think I got this from AliExpress. This one I really like. It is a lace front, and I just love that it's a very natural sort of shade of blonde, but it does have that darkened roots, because I've mentioned before, when I have wigs that are a certain shade of blonde, they do wash me out, and so having that root just makes the difference. It's very natural, doesn't tangle, it's just really easy to throw on, it's a nice length. There's nothing that I don't like about this wig, and so that will definitely be one that I'll keep, because I know I wear it, and it is one that I can put on and almost forget I'm wearing. Some of them you feel like you have to play with or adjust a little bit, but this one is just pop on and go. This one was sold to me as a ZL wig, or Zell, I don't know how to say it. I don't know whether it actually is or not, because it didn't have the tags in, although it did come in the ZL bag, so it could quite likely be one of their wigs. It's very similar to the one I've just worn. Now, they've always been known for being really good quality wigs, and although I have heard sometimes that postage can be a bit of an issue with them. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I've never bought from them personally, or at least directly. Every time I've got one of their wigs, I've got it from somewhere else. I do like the shade of this one. I think it's a slightly milkier shade than the other one that I've just tried on, which is why I would keep it. This one I did make a little bit of a balls up of, and I cut the front too short and it left bits sticking up, but I've managed to blend it in, so fortunately that's not too much of a problem now. But for now I will be keeping this one. This is a sort of different shade. We've got one that's more reddy tones here. It is a lace front. It's a nice wig though, I really like it. It's nice to have something a little bit different. It's nice to have a darker colour, and I do like the sort of water wave effect on this one. Hopefully I might remember where I got it from one day. I've got a feeling that it might have been, looking at the tag in it, it's going to be something like Sensational or something like that, I think. I've got a feeling this one was from Shein. It's a lace front. The thing that I remember about this one when I got it is how transparent the lace is. So I haven't actually cut the lace all the way back on this one, and there's still room for me to cut more if I wanted to. But it has got really nice mixed blonde highlights in, and that's what I really liked about this one. It's slightly longer than some of the others I've got, but the thing that appeals to me about this one is it's very sort of mousy rooted as well, so it looks really natural. And I know people will probably be saying, why do you need 5 or 6 different blonde wigs? But blonde is the colour that's hardest to achieve for me, and so anything that gives me that sort of sun-kissed mixed blonde I will keep. So for now, this is also on the stay pile. This was another one that I think was from Shein. This is another lace front. With this one, it's actually mixed. So it is like a red base, but it's like a burgundy base. But then it's got these mixed red highlights through it. I do have one that's a little bit similar to this in one of my high-end brands, which I'll get around to showing. But I really do quite like this one, and I think I will probably keep it just because I love those pop of reds through it. It just gives it that nice little sort of extra dimension. And also it's very light, so when you pop it on, it's kind of got a strange texture to it as well. It's almost like the Cancalon texture, or sometimes I think they call it like yaki. It's kind of like a crimpy almost texture. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can just about see it there. But it's definitely one that I like. I will compare it to my higher end one. If it turns out they're too similar, then I will probably choose which one I want to get rid of. out of the two. Sometimes, although they're high end, it doesn't necessarily mean that they suit you better. This is from a brand called Shake and Go. I've got quite a few of their wigs. They were quite popular. You can still get them around. It is black and wavy. It's like a water wave, as they call it, and it's quite short, and I like this one because it's short. And I don't do black very often. It's more if I'm tending to do goth makeup, but it's nice if I am wanting to do something like that. Think Mother Gothel from Rapunzel. You can see that the menopause brain fog is kicking in. I will say that the cap sizes do run quite small on these, so if you have a big head, they're probably not for you. They tend to be a lot tighter if you've got the bands done up, and I tend to leave mine loose. The reason they're called Shake and Go is for the obvious. You can take it out the bag, shake it and stick it on, and they just fall into place. So they do make ideal everyday wigs if you just want to pop one on and not have to worry too much about prep or maintaining it throughout the day. They don't tend to tangle either. This one I quite like because of the shade. Unlike some of the others, this is just brown, and I don't have many wigs that are actually just brown. Most of them, they're either blonde or they're sort of like a dark brown, almost black. This is kind of like a mid brown. The only thing I will say this one is you have to be careful of what cap you put under it, because the lace is so light that you can actually see the wig cap under it. So you would have to make sure that your wig cap's out of the way. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means it's nice quality lace and very close to the scalp. I couldn't actually say where I got this one from. I don't remember. I imagine that I've got it off someone at some point, but perhaps it will come to me. There isn't any defining tag in there for me to tell where it's from. If they're from certain places, sometimes you sort of get an idea with the tags. It's a very nice wig, but yeah, I've got no clue. I knew the second I opened this that this would be a keep one. This is one that is from Webster Wigs, which is another fairly well-known wig company. I have said in my videos before, the thing about Webster is the caps are very big. You can adjust them, but just be aware of that. If you have a petite head, they're probably not for you. The quality of the wigs are always really good though. This one is called Salted Caramel. I love the style on this one. I love the colour. It's one of the earlier wigs that I've got, and I've never wanted to part with it since. It's got the dark roots and it has got that caramelly blonde to it. It's really easy to throw on. It's really thick, but it's not uncomfortably thick. It's thick because it feels like a decent hair, if that makes sense. It is synthetic, but the shape and the style of it, it just sits so nicely on the head. The other thing I would say about Webster's is I do find that their lace is a slightly darker, and sometimes the knots in the wig tend to be more black, so that's the knots that knot the hair in, and because of that sometimes they can look a bit dark against pale skin. There are things you can do with that. I've said in videos before, you can either bleach them or you can colour them with foundation, that kind of thing. So it's not the end of the world, but it is just something to note. But this is one of the ones that I will keep. This one is an Empress Wigs one, so it's good quality. I did keep the tag for this one, and it says it's a two-way L-shaped part. It is by Sensational again. I think they both are, the ones that I've got, looking at the insides of them, because they've both got the same tags inside. This one does actually say Empress on it though. But with this one, I think I probably will get rid of it. Reason being, it's very similar to the other one. I think this was another hair cube one looking at it. It has got the lace front on. It's very, very similar to the other ones that I've got as well, that are slightly longer. And so it is probably time that I parted with this one. It is a lovely wig. It's absolutely beautiful. The fibres on it are so soft. Now, I've had several white wigs over time, and I have gotten rid of most of them now. I've kept this one here. The reason I kept this one is for costumes. So this is my wig that I would use for Daenerys from Game of Thrones, or I would also use for Elsa from Frozen as well. It's just a standard white lace front, but there's quite a few costumes that this covers, and so it's like a staple white wig, and it's got a really good hairline on it as well. This is another one of my costume wigs that I've got. I'm going to use this for Sarah Sanderson from Hocus Pocus. This is the Sarah Sanderson wig. I think it's actually perfect for her. It's sort of a yellow blonde, which is the same colour as her hair. I got it in a lot with a lot of different other wigs as well, so I'm not really sure what the brand is, to be honest. But yeah, it's a decent lace front and I like it, and it's perfect for the costume. This one I got offline. It's actually by a company called Motown Tress, which I'd never tried before. It's got a really nice lace front and it has a pre-plucked part. I noticed as well it has got a really deep part. It has got baby hairs built into it as well, so there's a little bits at the front that are a bit more wispy. That is again a design of the wig, supposed to be there. It was straight when I got it, but I did straighten it a little bit more. The thing with these fibres is they're very, very sort of thin, but they're not thin as in it's not a quality wig, because it is. It's thin as in it really does mimic real hair quite a lot. So I would say this is quite close, although it is synthetic, to real hair. The style is Stacy, and it's got a colour name of F1B30 Frost, and the frost just means that it's a slightly lighter shade of brown. So that's the tag that come with it, just in case anyone's on the lookout for their wigs. In terms of shorter styles, it's one of my favourites that I like to throw on. This one is also lace front, and it's another hair cube one. Very similar to the other one I've got, but it is slightly shorter. I think I might have chopped it shorter, but I do think I prefer the longer style, so I think it's time to get rid of this one. I don't need two that are that similar. I kind of acknowledge that, so I am getting better. We are seeing progress. I think I got this one in a random lot from someone as well. It's mainly sort of a dark plummy colour, and it's got a few very light shades of a brighter red through it as well. I don't know whether the camera picks it up, to be honest, but they are there. The thing about this one is it's lace front, but it's a plastic lace. I don't really know how to describe it, but some of them do have this like plastic front on them instead of actual lace, and it makes them a little bit hard. It looks like I've covered mine in wig tape, but I think the reason I've kept it is because of the style, but it is staying in my costume ones for the time being. This one is a jet black straight lace front. It's really thick is one of the things that I've noticed about it, so I don't think it's from one of the cheaper sites, but I can tell it's a good quality one, especially from the fact that the part's really good as well. But as I've said before, I do occasionally like black hair, and so for that purpose I will keep it. This next one is a Motown Wigs one as well. It is lace front, just saying it Motown Tress as well, and it's Futura fibre. Futura fibre is Japanese fibre that's supposed to be less tangly and better quality. It's a great wig, absolutely love this one. It's a lighter shade of brown and it's wavy, which is something different to what I usually go for. But on top of that, it's perfect for using for Claudine from Monster High as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using this one for that. And I just happen to have got a pair of ears to go with it now. That's definitely one of my keep wigs. This one has escaped the last few rounds of get rid of the wig. This is a lace front. It's sort of like a short brown wavy wig. It's a nice wig, but in honesty I don't really reach for it very often, and so because of that I am actually going to get rid of it. Don't know where it's from, doesn't have a tag on it. This is another Webster Wigs, and this one is called Frosted Peach. It's kind of like a really nice blonde with a little bit of a rose gold to it. It is quite similar to the Castaway Wigs one, but I think I actually prefer this one. I like the hairline better on it, and I like the style, and it's a little bit shorter than the other one as well, which for me makes it better. Again, it's very, very thick, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I like the fact that with this one you can either have a middle part fringe or a side part if you want to pull it over, so it's quite flexible and it looks really nice with a side part if you straighten it. And with the fibres of the Webster wigs you can straighten them quite easily as well. So this is definitely one of the keeper ones for me. This is another one that I don't know where I got it from. This seems to be a caramel bob. I'm guessing I've probably got it. I think it might be sleek actually. I'm not 100% sure. But it might be a sleek bob. As in the brand sleek, the hair, sleek hair. But again, this is an easy one to just throw on and go out in, and so I really like this one. It's a little bit similar to the other short dark one I've got, but this one's a lot more caramel highlighted, and it's quite a nice quality one. It's just very easy to throw on. So yeah, keep that one. This one I know I got off an individual seller. She wasn't sure of the brand. I wasn't sure of the brand either. It has got a fairly decent cap to it though, so I'm thinking it's probably not a very cheap one. She did say she paid a lot of money for it, but couldn't remember where from. It's very thin in terms of the hair, but again, it's thin but good quality. And I really like the waves on this one. It does need a bit of a rewash now, I think, because I've had it in the bag for a while. There was quite a lot of little wispy bits here as well, which I cut because I didn't like them. I think they're supposed to be stuck down to your head, but I'm not really a fan of that. So it does need a little bit of TLC, but it is one that I really like. I do remember where I got this one from. This was a Shein one. It was a lace front. And I really liked the colour because it's kind of like a ashy grey colour. But what I didn't like was the length. It was really, really long. And it was just, didn't look right on me at all. So I cut it. And I really like the length now. I think it sort of suits the wig really well. I am in two minds though whether to keep it or not. I think it's going to have to go on the maybe pile. This is another shake and go wig. I've had this one quite some time. It is a nice wig and it's got those nice little highlights through it, but I don't think I'll wear it, so I think I'm going to condition it and move it on. This one I know was from Shine. This is one I call one of my Billie Eilish wigs. It's a rooted one, but unlike most rooted, it's got coloured roots instead of just plain roots. So it is dark, but you've got those pop of red roots, which I really like. So this is one that I will be keeping. I do have this in two colours. I've got it in the red and I've got it in like a neon green as well. I don't know whether they do, but I'd really like it in a blue root as well. So I'll be keeping my eyes open in case they do one. Looking at this wig, I wasn't sure what wig it was, but it does say inside that it's Lulabelle's. From what I remember, this was a Lulabelle's one that I modified. When it came, it was quite a wavy wig, but I didn't like it. So what I did was I straightened it. And I think it looks like a whole new wig now. The other good thing about Lulabelle's wigs is the same sort of thing. They're sort of very thick, very similar to Webster, to be honest. But since I trimmed this one, I really like it. I don't know what the actual style of it should have been, but I would definitely keep this one because, again, it's an easy one to just throw on and wear. I don't remember where I got this from because it's got no label on it. It's very pretty. Again, would be quite good as a Sarah Sanderson wig. And I don't have any without roots because generally I don't wear many wigs without roots, to be honest. So I will keep this one because there's a few costumes I can think of that I could use this for. One thing I will say about it is that lace is really invisible on it, so it's really nice quality wherever it's from, and the thickness is nice. This one was from Amazon and it was by a company called The Bonnie. I've kept this over the Christmas one and got rid of the Christmas one. Although it's a similar sort of wig, except it's probably slightly longer than the Christmas one. I like this one better because the lace is a lot better on it. It's a lot more realistic. The colours blend better at the roots, and it was really, really wavy when I got it, but I pulled a lot of the wave out and just left it with a loose sort of beachy mermaidy wave. I've had it a while and it's one that I always come back to, and I just like to throw on if I'm going somewhere, and so I will keep this one. This one was a Christmas present from my husband a few years back, who is a bit of an enabler and will buy me wigs if I ask nicely. This was from Amazon, but I really liked the wig. I've used it for some costumes like Poison Ivy and things like that, but I will also wear it just for the colour as well. It's a really nice red. It can be free parted, so you can change the parting, but I tend to wear mine in the middle part anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But you can actually change the part. It is heat proof as well, so that you can style it with heat. The curls are a little bit bunched up at the back, but that's just because it's been sitting in the bag. I took a bit of time to pull them all out to make it a little bit looser. But the thing that appeals to me with this one quite a lot is the shade. I really love that shade of red. I have since then got another one that's a bit similar, so I might have to part with this one at some point, but because it was a present, I'm kind of hanging on to it for the time being, and I'll see how I feel when I compare it against the other one. This one is by Bobby Boss. I got this one off one of the wig groups. I do like Bobby Boss wigs. I do have a couple of them. It's got the dark root and it goes into the ash blonde, and it's one that I do like. I think I favour this over that other one that I cut myself, a little bit shorter, and so I'll probably get rid of that one and keep this one because I like this one a lot better. It's just a little bit more natural. The hairline looks better on it. The fibres are better. They tend to use synthetic fibre that mimics real hair. It hasn't got that artificial shine on it. You'll see a bit of shine because I've got a lot of light shining in my room to make sure that it picks them up. But that's definitely one that I'd prefer to keep over the others. I hope you like watching me go through my videos. It does help with my process because it does sort of talking it through, even to the camera, makes it a bit easier for making the decisions. This one is an ultra wig, and this one's called Delania, I think it is. Delania it's called. It does have a band in the back which holds it in. I tend to sometimes not put the band on though because it does make it quite tight on the head, and I don't like them too tight because it tends to give me a headache. It's sort of like a wavy bob, I suppose you'd say. It's a nice wig. It's quite nice quality, and as with all ultra wigs, it looks quite natural and real. It is a side part which is slightly different to the ones that I usually wear. It does need a little bit of primping to get it right, but it is sort of an easy everyday wig that you can just pop on, except I don't like the band in it at all. I think it's too tight, but that's easily solved. Although the band isn't removable, I could just cut it. But because it's one of the shorter ones and I don't have many shorter styles, I will keep this one for now. This was another one from my shine binge that I had before I did some videos not long ago. And this was a brown wavy wig. I actually really like this one. Again, this could be used for Claudine from Monster High. The waves are really natural on it. It's got really nice lace. It's got a strange cap to it, this one has, that's a lot lighter, so it mimics the scalp, which I think is really quite nice, and it has got the combs in as well. Just going to show you this, quite unusual that it's got the skin colour there, and that it actually comes like that. That's not me putting that in, just so that it mimics a scalp, something a bit different. I've got two black graduated bobs. At a point I had this one, and I also had one from Lulabelle's, which I think might have been called Kylie, I'm not sure. I think I got rid of the Kylie one in favour of this one because this one's a bit thinner and holds the style better, and so I've kept this one. So whether I decide to get rid of one of them when I put them side by side, I don't know, but for the time being I do quite like this one, and so we'll see. I think as well that this was one of the first wigs that I had. When I got them, I originally had about 10 to start with instead of the silly amount I've got now, and I think there's a little bit of a sentimental attachment to it as well. I did a lot of goth looks with this wig, and it's just nice to throw on. This one is a Red Carpet Wigs by Main Concept. They are high quality Futura wigs. It was originally up in a bun style, and then for some reason, I don't really know why, I took it out of the style and then regretted it. So I've tried my best to pop it back in the style it was in. I think my bun is slightly higher than the original one was, but I don't think it's too far off the original. Usually when I wear this one, I sort of make sure that I pull down all of the little bits that stick out. They're supposed to stick out. It gives it part of the style. And this is one that I would actually make sure that I used glue on to glue down, just because it's supposed to sit flush against your head. This is the wig. It does come in different styles, and if I ever get the chance again, I will probably get another one, just because I made a bit of a mess trying to get it back into that bun. But because it's one of the few I have got with an updo, I will keep it. I don't think I did a bad job really putting it back. If you like an updo, I don't recommend you take it out thinking you'll be able to put it back together again. This one my mum found for me. It's probably one of the earlier wigs that was available. It's from a company called Jazzy Hair in London, which I'd never heard of before, but that's what's in the label. It's got a fairly big cap, and despite it not being a lace front, because of the way it's parted, it's actually quite a natural looking wig. I do like the hair. It's quite soft, it's a sort of synthetic, and it's got a nice style to it, and it's got all the colours through it as well. You can see some caramel pieces in it as well. And it's a nice easy one to pop on. Again, I think I keep hold of it because it's a little bit sentimental, because it was a pressie from my mum, and it's nice that she supports my weird love of wigs. It's quite funny, when I go to see my parents a lot of the time, one of the first questions they ask me, is that your hair or is that a wig? This was another one from Shine that I got. This is a nice little short black wavy bob. So it's got the darkened roots, it's got black in it as well, and it's red. And it's so easy to throw on and go. And I'm keeping this in favour of the one with the caramel that I had, because you can see they're quite similar styles, but I think red suits me better than the caramelly colour, and so this one is keeping. We're coming to the end of the first tub of wigs that I've got now. There's 2 left to show, I think. This one is just called Blonde Lace Wavy, which means I don't know where I got it from. I did use this one for a Captain Marvel cosplay, and I think I used it for Supergirl as well. But I am going to let this one go now, because I haven't really got any costumes that I want to wear it for. I got rid of my Captain Marvel one because the costume was quite tight and didn't feel comfortable in it. So there doesn't really seem any need to keep the wig. I've got a feeling it might have been a Webster one originally, just because of the cap size. And the final one for this video. This is by a company called Celebrity Hair. Their wigs are quite hard to get hold of. I've just found one of my missing wig caps. Apparently it was in there. I do this sometimes. I'll look in one of my wigs and I'll find a random wig cap that I've lost. I do like this one. It's really lightweight. I've wore this out a few times when I've been out with people. You can just throw it on, and it's got those roots on. Yes, it might be a little bit similar to some of the ones I've got, but I also know that it's nice quality, and that if I'm wearing it out, it won't get tangled and look messy. And so this is a keeper. So I think we've managed to root out maybe about 10 to get rid of, and possibly 3 or 4 on the maybe pile. So I'd say that's probably good progress considering how many I've got. And I will do another video and include the next lot. But I think for now I'm going to go and list these and get rid of them. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it and you enjoy wigs as much as me. And I'll see you soon. Take care.